welcome back to Wrestling City, and today we're going to be reacting to another video from WrestleMania, but this one is going to be covering some of the news that's been going on the past few days, because I have been on Twitter and I have been seeing Hulk Hogan getting flamed from just about every wrestler. Apparently he went on some sort of interview and he was talking about some I guess amateur wrestlers, and he was trying to say Shelton Benjamin, but he ended up saying Benjamin Shelton. And Shelton Benjamin apparently replied himself on Twitter and basically called him out for it, telling him that he doesn't want anything to do with him. So I want to hear some more about this and some other news that's going on. Apparently Elias returned to NXT, so let's get this one started.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Hulk Hogan gets buried by numerous wrestlers, a WWE star debuts a new look, is R-Truth ready to retire, a released WWE star fires back, Elias returns to WWE, is Damian Priest injured, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. And now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story.
Okay, let's get it started.
Our first story looks at numerous wrestlers bury Hulk Hogan. Our top story today takes a look at the fallout from a recent interview from Hulk Hogan, and already two notable wrestlers have clapped back at Hogan's comments. In numerous interviews promoting his new ventures, Hogan would refer to Shelton Benjamin as Benjamin Shelton. Doing this once is bad enough, yet Hogan kept doing it, and the current AEW star decided to put Hogan in his place via a post on X. Message to Hulk Hogan: you lost me forever with your don't get caught, or as you would call it, apology speech. So rather than screw up my name and pretend we ever had any sort of camaraderie, which we never had, please do me a favor and, well, Benjamin utilized the infamous Will Smith Oscars gift to close out the post. Another clip then surfaced of Hogan's interview with TMZ, and in this interview, Hogan for the second time incorrectly claimed that he wrestled Brock Lesnar when Lesnar returned to WWE in 2012. Hogan and Lesnar did face off, but this was 10 years prior. MVP responded to this clip by simply stating, pathological lying piece of human excrement. Now it's been a terrible week for Hogan, as in the space of 48 hours, Benjamin, MVP, and even Becky Lynch have all made extremely negative comments about him as a human being. It's crazy to think that WWE still want to have a positive working relationship with the Hulkster, as it's evident that a lot of names within pro wrestling strongly dislike him.
I'm just so glad that as a wrestling community, we are finally moving on from this piece of garbage, Hulk Hogan. Iron Sheik said it best, fuck the Hulk Hogan. We can't deny what he's done for the wrestling business. He's the one who basically put WrestleMania on the map, but that doesn't justify how he acts now. I think that it's also funny that when he goes to these interviews, he doesn't like Shelton Benjamin said when he replied, he doesn't know him, but the fact that he tries to name drop him in interviews, like trying to add a person of color into that list of people in order to get these social brownie points, kind of like, oh, see, he's not a racist, he just mentioned a black person. I think that we see through his shit, and we see that he lies on just about everything if he can get away with it. So I'm glad that we are, as a whole, moving on from this man, and hopefully it continues to go in that way.
Based on the response to him last time he was on television, the opinions of fans isn't much different. Next up, CM Punk is pushing for a dream match. Now, fans have been urging WWE to book CM Punk versus John Cena one final time. Cena is set to retire this December, and fans want to see Cena wrestle his notable rivals such as Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and the aforementioned Punk. The Orton match is thankfully going down at Backlash, and fans love the idea of seeing Punk and Cena run it back, potentially at Money in the Bank, due to their established history at the event itself. According to Punk during an interview with Tadum, he has a strong desire to be part of Cena's final year, and it doesn't matter if it's a tag match or a 1v1 contest. Selfishly, I'd like to be part of Cena's farewell tour in any which way he possibly sees fit. He wants to tag with me? Awesome. He wants to lock up with me? Fantastic. But as a fan, I'm just excited to be here to witness it all. Punk would then
Yeah.
name drop other names on the active roster that he wants to wrestle, as he would reference names such as US Champion Jacob Fatu and Finn Balor. Guys I want to work with: Jacob Fatu, got a little taste at War Games, but one-on-one stuff is my bread and butter. Finn Balor is fantastic. I selfishly want to lock back up with Rey Mysterio, teach him a lesson for having such a brat kid. A Punk versus Fatu would be incredible, and hopefully WWE listens to him and follows through with some of these huge matches.
Oh, that would
Next up
cook.
is R-Truth retiring. R-Truth is one of the most seasoned wrestlers on the WWE roster, and fans have been wondering for years when he plans to hang up his boots forever. According to Truth during an interview with Chris Van Vliet, he has no plans to retire anytime soon. Still ain't
that's
done
good to
yet,
hear.
that's the thing. I never think about time. It'll come to me. I think every answer we seek, look for, it'll come to us in due time. A Truth would then hilariously address the idea of wrestling until he's 100 years old. I don't know about that, but yeah, we let the body man and let the universe be the one, the gatekeeper with that. I just do what I do. Whenever Truth steps into the ring, it's crazy to witness as Truth moves and performs in the same way he did 2 decades prior. The day the former US champion hangs up his boots forever will be a sad day indeed, but thankfully it doesn't look like the day is on the horizon anytime soon. Next up, a WWE star debuts a new look. A WWE star Pete Dunne has debuted a brand new
Oh,
look.
wow.
Dunne recently welcomed his second child to the world, and in a post on Instagram, he would announce that he's cut his long locks and introduced a new shorter hairstyle. Dunne is back in the tag division on television, having reunited
I
with
don't know how to
Tyler
feel
Bate,
about that.
and Dunne last wrestled back on April 21st edition of WWE Main Event, so it's likely that Dunne has a few weeks off. Next up are former AEW names WWE
Okay.
bound. Could 2 recently released AEW names be set to sign with WWE? Yesterday, PW Insider Elite reported that the Righteous had officially departed AEW. As we reported yesterday, the Righteous have exited AEW. PWInsiderElite.com has confirmed that Dutch and Vincent requested a release from their contracts and were granted that release last week.
I don't
It's
know
believed
them.
that their deals ran until later this year. We're told that the split was amicable, and one source noted that while there are no current plans for this, it's possible they could always pop up on AEW or Ring of Honor programming down the line, just not as contracted talents. Just a few short hours after this report surfaced, a WWE star Karrion Kross posted a promo to his social media channels that heavily implied that the tag team are joining him on the main roster. The video featured Kross playing their AEW theme song, and the timing is interesting to say the very least. Even both members of the tag team replied to the post, and fans are convinced that the duo have signed with WWE.
I mean, I guess they could do that. Like I said, I do not know this group. I've never, I think I've maybe heard of them before, but they've got to be careful because we don't want it to end up in the same situation AEW has had the past so many years where you sign all these people and then you end up not being able to have a plan for them. I think that we need to be careful with these signings and factions. Do we really need another faction? Is it just going to end up like the Final Testament last year with AOP and Karrion Kross? I don't know, man. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they can start them down in NXT.
The fan response on social media is mixed, as whilst fans are happy for the tag team potentially getting a shot in WWE, they've just released a plethora of talents, and some of which barely got a chance on the main roster. Fans have already been questioning WWE's justification for a lot of the releases from last week. It was reported that age was a key factor in some of the releases, yet both members of the tag team are at the bitter end of 30, so there's definitely a double standard there. Nevertheless, hopefully
I will try not to make this a quick rant because I know I just paused, but I think it's maybe a hot take because on one hand, I don't want to see anybody get released. I totally understand it's a sucky situation for their personal lives, but at the same time, it's a business. This is what they have to do. I think every single year people get mad at all these releases, but you would have gotten mad at them if they don't have future creative plans for them right now. So they were not going to be utilized for what their contract's worth was. So if they didn't book them, you guys would have gotten mad at that. They would have been held hostage on the show or however people choose to word it. So I don't think there's any sort of issue with signing new talent right now when they just release some people because they may use this new talent that they signed better or more often than they will the people that they released, you know? It's not an exact comparison every single time.
this gives Kross, who has managed to get organically over in the WWE weeks after WrestleMania, something substantial to do on television. Next up, a released WWE star fires back. Riley Osborne was part of the mass releases made by WWE last weekend, and this came as a shocker to many, as Osborne was a fantastic talent with a bright future. Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer would claim that one of the issues with Osborne was that he had no interest in working in Evolve, and this would have influenced WWE's call to release him. However, he has since clapped back at this report via his social media, as he would claim that the report is completely false, and he urged fans not to listen to everything they read online. I worked the first set of Evolve tapings the day after my wife was released. When I was told by head coach on a phone call that night I can have it off tomorrow if I needed time with my wife as we pull out of the house that we were like 2 weeks from closing on, all I had to do was tell him, yeah, I'd like just a day to be with her. I was the first person in that building the next day and was commended on my professionalism. I will not have my work ethic questioned when I was busting my ass off in rehab to return, which I knew the return would have been on Evolve. Not everything you read online is true.
Yeah, that's
the former
fair.
NXT star is receiving a ton of praise from fans for standing up for himself and protecting his image. The report was incredibly damaging, so it was definitely in his best interest to address the report directly if it was factually incorrect. Next up, when will Liv Morgan return to WWE? One half of the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan, is currently away from WWE filming a major motion picture. Morgan is co-starring in Bad Lieutenant Tokyo. WWE announced on this last week's episode of Raw that she will be taking time off for the project and is currently in Japan as work gets underway on the movie. According to a new report from Fightful Select, Morgan is scheduled to wrap filming on May 16th and return to the US on the 17th May, making her time on the set approximately 2 weeks. It's unclear when exactly Morgan will return to programming, but she will be available to be booked on TV on the May 19th or May 26th editions of Raw. There was speculation that WWE would be forced to have Morgan drop the tag titles, but numerous reports have debunked that, and WWE are keeping the tag titles on the Judgment Day whilst Morgan films her new movie. Next up,
Okay.
Elias returns to WWE.
Yes,
TNA star
man.
Elijah, who is known as Elias in WWE,
Uh-huh.
made his huge return to WWE programming, participating in the Battle Royal on NXT TV last night. The live crowd erupted in a welcome home chant and he received the biggest ovation of the entire show. In his brief promo, he reintroduced himself to the WWE audience as Elijah and asked the audience who wants to walk with Elijah. Hello, I'm Elijah. I saw a friend in need. I don't like Trick Williams, so I decided to come to NXT. TNA, we walk this way. I got one more thing to say. It's NXT, walk with me. One question for everybody here tonight. Who wants to walk with Elijah? Well, Elijah did get his start in NXT, so this was a homecoming of sorts for the former WWE star. And finally, is Damian Priest injured? Our final story today takes a look at the latest injury news when it comes to Damian Priest. According to former world champion during an interview on MLB Network, he is seriously banged up following WrestleMania 41, but he's pushing through the pain to compete at Backlash. I still haven't recovered from Mania physically, so I'm looking at this match and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm definitely going to feel the pain for a while. It is what it is. Like I said, these are some of the heaviest hitters in the company, big guys that are megastars right now. I'm looking forward to it because I love that physicality anyway. Priest's match with Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 41 was incredibly physical, and Priest deserves a ton of praise for not taking any time off following the brutal matchup. Based on his comments, it'll be interesting to see if WWE writes him off television at Backlash. If Priest is in a lot of physical pain, it would make a lot of sense for him to take a few weeks off and then return once he's 100% physically fit to compete. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news story.
Yeah, man, I hope that Damian Priest, it's not some sort of long-term injury, but he has, since he's been world champion, and even before that, it's probably been the past, like, 2 years or so, that he has been consistently on the roster, consistently doing shows, so I would be fine with him getting some time off. I am just hoping that he is not personally having some long-term nagging injuries, you know. Hopefully he rests up good. But yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, comment below, and come subscribe to the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. I will see y'all next time. Peace.